Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt, and welcome back to Crypto Kings. In today's video, I have an incredible set of announcements regarding Shiba Inu that I think you guys are going to want to hear. If you guys are new, drop a like, subscribe. Let's get right into it. So if you guys haven't already seen what we are working with here, folks, this is another, yet again, all-time high for SHIB, and you guys can see that really this was kind of primed overnight here. You guys can see at the early morning, wee hours of the night here into the early morning, you guys can see it manages to hit 4821, which right now sitting here at 4748. I think for all intents and purposes we could agree is essentially the same thing as we saw here and is again the all-time high. This is hard to believe. And I've talked about this a lot on the channel, but guys, it really does defy every single thing we've ever known about the way trading any asset works. Because while SHIB is up 22% on the day, what is amazing is that nothing else is doing all that hot. And you guys can see, I mean, this is really a pretty lackluster day for just about everything except for SHIB. And that is just absolutely amazing. So wonderful to see, and you guys could tell, of course, when we head over to TradingView to take a look a little bit at what's really going on here. So what essentially happened was we saw a period of consolidation, a very slight one, but a period of consolidation at around 41, 42-ish, and you guys can see this really goes on for just maybe 24 hours or so, nothing particularly long. But what's incredible about this is these periods, these increments here are not characteristic of the way an area of consolidation like this would normally work. I mean, if you want to see an example of the way an area of consolidation works, a perfect example is from the 17th year all the way up until the 23rd. Because what you guys can see is a very long, very stable period of time in which the price really doesn't move much and it bounces, again, between like 26 and 28, very stable. You guys can see this here, very stable, nothing particularly amazing going on here. And then we're able to replicate, the results of this price action, this breakout. We replicate this breakout once again with our breakout right now. I mean, this is essentially the same thing as this, only this has been condensed, which is just incredible. Speaking of things that are incredible, if you guys want to get some incredible finances and incredible investing going, definitely check out Webull. Top of the link down below in the description, folks. It is so easy to do. You guys can trade stocks and crypto over there, including Shiba Inu. But if you guys use my link, it's probably the quickest 15, 20-ish bucks you guys will ever make. All you gotta do is use the link top of the description. You guys get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300. And of course, if you guys enjoy the channel, you want to support me, I always do appreciate it. Again, it is free. Top of the link down below in the description. But like I was saying, folks, what we're looking at here is essentially this entire movement here from the 17th to the 24th being recreated and mirrored only in the span of like 24 hours, which is just incredible. So when we take a look at the relative strength index, of course, that is always a great metric to notice. What's amazing about the relative strength index is that it actually kind of tempers off, and it is basically saying, yeah, 39, 40, 41, this is normal. This is within what, the relative strength index would consider to be a normal boundary, which is interesting considering, again, this price, while, maybe feeling inflated, the relative strength index is saying, yeah, this isn't all that inflated. This is about where Shiba Inu should be. And then, of course, the only time it breaks that is when it hits 48.5 right here is the only time it actually breaks that, which sends the relative strength index out of that 70 boundary up to 79. But it doesn't seem like it really cares all that much, because every time it pushes past, where the relative strength index considers it to be normal, we see, a little bit of pullback, but it's definitely nothing major. When you have, an exception like this, where it pushes all the way out, normally, for the most part, what that'll do is it'll send it spiraling down all the way to the bottom, sometimes even below the range where it gets oversold. Then obviously we'll have a little bit of a comeback and, something like this. This is a typical movement for what happens like this when an asset gets, perhaps overbought. But what's happening with SHIB is that it gets overbought dramatically, and then, okay, we have a little bit of pullback down to 34, and then it just keeps going. It just keeps going. It doesn't care. It does not respond to typical normal market behaviors, which is just absolutely incredible. Now, in regards to a future price, guys, like I said, I've talked about this in my previous video, but man, I do not believe that objectively, and again, I like to be honest with you guys, I do not believe objectively buying at 47 is the best idea. I would wait it out a little bit and see what goes on, because honestly, I think we are overdue for a little bit of a pullback, something like this. This is a very characteristic, very typical pullback for something like this. And again, I would not be surprised if SHIB decides to do this, and then obviously continues to bounce up, and it very well could do that. But this pullback is what I'm waiting for. Again, I don't know if it'll happen right away. It could be a day, it could be 2 days before this kind of pullback happens. But a kind of pullback to 40 or like 37, something like that, I definitely think is more plausible. A good thing to check, of course, is the Fibonacci retracement, which, of course, will analyze the most recent run. So when we expand this here, you guys can see we're going to sort of pick this apart. So what this has done is, of course, it has taken the bottom of the most recent run, 32, which, of course, was that Elon Musk tweet, which sent it flying down to 32 for just a little bit. And then it analyzes the top of the run, which is around 43. So normally in a situation like this, what you would have happen is this high would lose some steam. It would lose 38.2%, of those gains made. It would lose 50% of those gains made, and it would bounce off one of these lines. But what this essentially did was it reaches its peak, loses 23.6%. Now it's hard to see. Loses 23.6% of those gains, which is why it sort of bounces on this line, and then it just explodes, and then it just hops past it completely, not caring at all about the Fibonacci retracement whatsoever. So again, you guys can see, we follow the first line, the 23.6% line. It bounces off of it, and then sends itself hurling up to the moon, which is just crazy stuff. So realistically, again, while the relative strength index and the Fibonacci retracement are two great indicators, they don't always really tell us exactly what's going on in the future. So like I said, right now, this very particular moment, it does look like it's been slightly overbought. And again, you guys can see it is, slightly above what is considered normal. And of course, just like we saw a few days ago, there was pullback here, and I'd say there'd be pullback here. So again, I would personally, if I were you, wait, a little bit until we get that pullback to like maybe 42 or 41, 40, something like that, or in a more dramatic way, if the pullback is a little bit worse, we get some pullback maybe to 37. I mean, those are just, again, guesses. There's really no way to tell. So what I would do is, again, look for established lines of support, and there are a lot of ways you guys can do this, but essentially, when I reset the graph here, there are a lot of lines of support you guys could look at and kind of pick. So, if I wanted to be, sort of conservative with my estimate here, I could say, yeah, it looks like it bounced off the 38 here for a little bit. Okay, it bounced off the 40 for a little bit. You know what? I'll go with around 38. So I could draw a line like this, say around 38. This looks like a safe, kind of stable line that, it is shown in multiple instances, of bouncing off of. So I could say 38. If I want to be more ambitious, I could definitely go with this area over here, this area here, maybe, get them to match. So again, I might maybe go with 40 if I wanted to. There are, again, a lot of options. What it really boils down to is knowing, obviously what some of these future candles are going to look like and looking for any sign of slowing down. So that being said, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed. Hopefully everything made sense. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more daily SHIB vids. My name is Matt. See you guys on the next one. Peace.